LunchTimeChatDotGov unethulela Ntokozo kaMaphisa. Angihambi ngedwa ke ngihamba nenhloko yomnyango esimazi kahle sonke uSandile kaShabalala uDokotela bese siphinde futhi sihamba noNgqongqoshe uphathe nomnyango lo wezempilo kwaZulu-Natal noMagugu Simelane Zulu. Ngithathe leli thuba ngibabingelele nje ngithi sanibonani.
Sabingelela Ntokozo, sibingelele nakubalaleli emakhaya, abalaleli abasijoinayo through i-radio, abalaleli abakuma social networks onke, balaleli be1KZN in particular. Sijabula kakhulu ke njengoba sasishilo ukuthi sobe siloku sibalethela nje ama guests kulolu hlelo lwethu. Namhlanje sine guest entsha uDokotela oyinhloko yomnyango. Akawujwayeleke lo mcimbi wethu. Sizomloku simzwisa nje ukuthi kunjani.
Bye. Ake simuze ukuthi yakwazi ukubingelela bese siniqikisekisa emakhaya ukuthi ke sisagqugquzela ngempela ukusetshenziswa kwawo ama mask njengoba nimbona ke ifakile i mask kodwa simqinisekise ukuthi ke kulelu hlelo siyayigcina imigomo yokuthi ke ama distances ke lawo ekhunywa ngawo ukuthi sikwazi ukuqhelana siwagcinile uzothi mase ekhuluma kwazi ayikhiphe ukuze sikwazi simthole kahle ekhaya awusibingeleleke enhloko yomnyango.
Sibingelele kuNgqongqoshe wethu umama noMagugu Simelane, sibingelele Ntokozo, sibingelele ababukeli, sibingelele nabalaleli bonke ngeendawo abahleli kuzo. Siyabonga.
Sibonge kakhulu ke niyayizwela ke nisemakhaya ngibe bengishilo ukuthi nisithola kahle kakhulu ngemsakazo ehlukahlukene ama community radio stations iKwaZulu-Natal iyonke nje uyasithola ke futhi ke nakuma social networks ethu oku social media Twitter kanye namanye ke YouTube uphinde usithole njalo ngemgqibelo ku1KZN TV kusukela ngo2:30 kuya kuyena u3:30 uhlelo namhlanje ke njengoba sashilo ngeviki edlule ukuthi uNgqongqoshe ubethula isabelo zimali esibuyekeziwe somnyango wakhe uhlelo namhlanje ke lizobe ligxile kakhulu ekubukeni ke ukuthi ke yini ayethula lapha yana nokuthi sacela ukuthi ke sizocela ukuthi namhlanje siyazi ukuthi uyaya lapha eParliament beyitike bembuza imibuzo abaphendule kodwa sase sithi sizocela ukuthi yena nenhloko yomnyango namhlanje sibabeke la estikini siqale ngokuthi nani nitike ngabo nibabuze imibuzo ehlukahlukene. Sibongeka abantu bangenile ku Facebook page yethu na WhatsApp basinika ngempela imibuzo eminingi yabo namhlanje ngakho kuhlelo kuzomela siligijimise ngendlela esimangaliso ngoba iminingi kakhulu imibuzo enifakile la esitholile ngempela ngaphansi kwayo ukuthi ke bekwazi ukuyiphendula. Inombolo ke WhatsApp ongasithola kuyona uma uthi uyafisa ukuthi ubabuze ku WhatsApp ithi 082 314 1167 082 314 1167 kanti ungakwazi futhi ukuthi uphinde ubashayele kulolu hlelo ungene nje emoyeni uxoxe nabo bukhoma enambeni yethu ethi 078 617 6760 078 617 9760 ngaleke ke kokupholisa amaseko ngizothanda ukuthatha ithuba lokuthi ngivele ngigijime ngibheke lapha ya odaboni olthinta iJerusalem dance program anayo uHOD ayiqalisile beno MEC emnyangweni wabo esibonile la ukuthi abasebenzi emnyangweni ngempela beba abantu emasila ngaphansi kwesigaba sika COVID bekune stress kakhulu kunento eziningi eziba stressayo kwasiba khona nje into ethi cha akube nohlelo oluzokwazi ke bethathe ikhefu elincane bethi nje ukudansa beyitshukuje sibabonile ke nayo MEC nayo HOD bedansa kwi competition ebese kwi district level ngebhadi elikhulu sibonile ukuthi ngathi ama group aba awenzanga kahle kodwa akawuvumelekile ukusho emoyeni ukuthi abaphathi bahlulekile ngoba leyo nto kuyenzeka ihambe no phezal number ugcine nawe ke suphelelo nayo umsebenzi shuthi singathi nje abafinyelelanga hayi ukuthi bahluliwe ngoba behlulwa abaphathi. Ngizocela ukuthi mhlambe ngesibone kuma district lawa okuyiwona awinile ukuthi ngabe imaphi enze kahle uzosivezela nje wona lapha ya kumabona kude bese siyawasho mayise eshilo umfowethu ngesiwabone lama districts okuyiwona enze kahle ngokwe district level.
Uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilonoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami ilondoloze 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 ngishilana ilondoloze 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 suma ngishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana
Siyathemba ke ukuthi niyibonele ngempela emakhaya ukuthi inhle kanjani into silekeleleke laba abasilalela emsakazweni ngoba ukubona kukho bekukuzwa ingoma nje ngempela kuyibona ke abashaye emakhanda kwi district yasethe othukela kube ulona uthukela EMS eThekwini District Makhod Hospital Amajuba District Madaden Regional Hospital Head Office kwa KZN College of Emergency Care umzinyathi District Greytown Hospital Zululand District Itshelejuba Hospital umkhanyakude District Bethesda Sub Campus uku District St Andrews Hospital Harry Gwala District Christ the King Hospital umgungundlovu District umngeni Specialized Psychiatric Hospital King Cetshwayo District Catherine Booth Hospital Ilembe District uSundumbili CHC ibona ke laba abawine kuma districts ahlukahlukene kuzothi ke ngomsombuluko bese siyabona ke sebeqhuthana amakhizane ukuze kuzophuma eyodwa okuyiyona ezowina ye province ezomela iprovince kodwa kubalekile ukuthi kuthole ku HOD ukuthi ke mhlambe lo mncintiswano usho ukuthini mhlambe eminyangweni.
Mhlamba siqale sibonge Ntokozo ku MEC ukuthi usigqugquzelile ukuthi siwenze lo mncintiswano ngaphezulu kwaloko futhi naye waphinde waparticipate ushilo ukuthi kwenzekeni la iparticipate khona ngokuyivikela ke namanga ngisho kodwa siyabonga ukuthi uMEC ukuthi kubhizi kunje ukuthi kunomsebenzi omningi kangaka eminyangweni avuma ukuthi abasebenzi bawenze lo mncintiswano kubalekile futhi ukuthi sibonge wonke ama employees azimbandakanyile kulo mncintiswano sibonge all the district all the offices up to the clinics abe involved ukuthi ba participateile lokhu besikwenza ngoba uthe uMEC mekuzwa wethi kuzobasiza abantu ukuthi kuso sonke le stress abanaso kulomsebenzi abawenzayo beama frontline workers kwehle lonke leli gwebu nobunzima ababhekene nabo ingakho sikujabulela ukuthi bakwenze sicabanga ukuthi nasemva kwalokho kungenzeka sibe khona ezinye inhlelo ezizokwenza ukuthi abasebenzi kwethu bakwazi ukuthi ba relax emva kwemsebenzi enzima
baqhuma sibonga kakhulu inhloko yomnyango sibonile ke no president angazi uma bebona la eKZN nini samuzwa naye sememezele ethi abantu abadanse babe sebeyaqala ke bedansa ke kulo lonke izwe izolo kodwa ke thina besivele sesiqalile impi ingakho ke ngomsombuluko okumhla ka28 wonke ke ama district lawinile so bese siwafaka futhi ku Facebook page indlela yokuvota ukungena ku Facebook page yethu ulike ngaphansi kwaleyo video ye region yakho sukufune kube ukuthi wena uyayithanda ufune wine isibhedlela leso sithandayo bese uyalike ngaphansi kwaso mhlambe ke ngale kokuchitha isikhathi umuntu akagijime ngejubane elide sibheke lapha kuwe ngqongqoshe sibheke ukuthi ngempela ngabe izibalo za COVID zithini kulesigaba sanamhlanje.
Sibingelele Ntokozo sibingelele emakhaya njengoba besike sabingelela welcome to HOD siyacabanga ukuthi uyaqala ukuba nathi namhlanje kodwa ake ezokugcina usezoloku ebuya nje ziningi ke ezinye izinto nazinzima wena Ntokozo vele uyayumdinga umunye umuntu ozothi ufaka yena phansi kwebhasi kulula ukumfaka phansi kwebhasi eseduze inhloko yomnyaka siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi abe khona. Ama numbers ethu e-COVID infection kuze kube manje kwi-province yaKwaZulu Natal awu 118,350 ama numbers nje accumulative ngamanye amagama inamba beziloko zanda seloko saqala saba ne COVID-19 kodwa ama numbers are active okusho ukuthi ama numbers abantu abase ne COVID right now awu 6,740 abanye ke seba recoverile nama recoveries ethu abantu asebe recoverile abagula kwaphela emzimbeni baze baba ngcono bahlala emakhaya ba 108,993 unfortunately ke noma ngebhadi abantu asebeshile emhlabeni ba 2,617 and siyafisa ukudlulisa amazwi endiduzo kulabo bantu nemndeni yabo ikakhulukazi nalaba esisebenza nabo abadlulile emhlabeni siyakhalisana kakhulu nemndeni ngiyazi Ntokozo ukuthi njalo nasikhuluma ngalolu daba siwadluliswe amazwi enduduzo emndenini ngiyafisa nje ukusho ukuthi it's never enough noma ngabe ungakuphinda kangakanani ukukhalisana nomndeni ngokudlula komuntu emhlabeni kubalekile ukuthi sihlale sikwenza ngoba umphefumulo wodwa is more than one is more than enough. Into ebalekile yodwa nengifisa siphinde sixoxe ngicabanga na last time sikhuluma lolu daba sayixoxa indaba yento ebizwa ngokuthi second wave esathi nasibona sathi even though inumbers zethu kwi province yaKwaZulu Natal kubukeka sengathi ziyehla kodwa uma ubuka amanye ama countries abenayo le infection about 2 months 3 months ago inumbers zabo nabo zazehlile but ubuka manje kwakunodaba olwalibukeka sengathi inumbers ziyakhuphuka into ebizwa ngokuthi noma ososcience abavele bayibiza bayetha igama kwathi we second wave leyo second wave leyo ke siyibona ngempela ke manje emazweni aphesheya emazweni okuyiwona wona aqala aba ne covid infection iqala uma ngabe ubuka e-US for instance ama numbers second wave maningi kakhulu adlula abasekuqaleni ezof izolo sekushone abantu abangaphezulu ka 200,000 angisho aba infected ngisho abashonile 200,000 people died and ikutshela leyo nto imajority yalabo bantu baedeke ngesikhathi se second wave uma ubheka eSpain right now kukhona ama provinces eSpain asebe decide ukuthi ngenxa yokuthi second wave iqhubeka kakhulu inumbers yanda sebebuyela ku lockdown eItaly they are doing the same thing maningi amanye ama countries where such things are happening now ngiyaphinda ngiyakusho lokho ukuthi siyacela ebantwini bakithi ukuthi asibambisane ngoba uma ngabe singabambisani nathi singayithola sihlangabezana nayo le second wave kanti inkinga ya le second wave ukuthi akekho emhlabeni oyaziyo ukuthi impact yayo ingakanani kanti kwezinye indawo uma sesibona sebeyitholile kubukanakala sengathi le second wave inama ramifications noma ine impact enkulu kakhulu kune second wave kune first wave so siyacela abantu bakithi ukuthi baqhubeke nalokho esihlale sisho sithi abagezi izandla abagqoka ama mask abasanitize the social distance uvakashele ogogo nomkhulu uma ngabe isidingo sikhona uhlale ekhaya uma ngabe ungasebenzi ngaphuma isidingo nasingekho phila njengomuntu oku level 5 noma umthetho usivumela ukuthi ku level 1
Siyabonga kakhulu ke ngqongqoshe seyigoqe kahle kakhulu ngempela ke le exwayisa ngegagasi leli lesibili exwayiswa ngalo bodwa sihlale sigadile singabe abantu asebedlebeleka sesenza okuphumile esandleni ngizogijima ngijubana ngelapha ku HOD sathi kulolu hlelo kwesizobuye sibuke nje ama highlights eviki ukuthi iziphi indaba ezishisa ibunzi evikini okuyizona beyishisa ngempela esidinga ukuthi abantu becaciseleke mhlambe kuzona sibonile ke evikini kuvela imbiko ukuthi kwesinye sezibhedlela zethu lapha eThekwini kube nokuphambana kwabantwana abazali bagcina sebethatha ingane ongasizona mhlambe mawungasithatha nje usibeke ukuthi lolu daba lusuka phi lubheke kanti futhi isikhona mhlambe indlela ukuthi zi avoideke izinto ezifana nalezo.
Ntokoza ngisho ukuthi it is true ukuthi kukhona okunjalo kwenzekalile kwesinye sezibhedlela zethu but we are very grateful ukuthi the staff sakuleso sibhedlela and the management yeleso sibhedlela and the management also yaseThekwini were proactive in their approach bazama ukuthi ingane lezo bazifune zatholakala izingane zabuyiswa and the necessary tests including DNA tests have already been done kulabantwana ukuze babuyiseleke abazali nemndeni ithola abantwana ekufanele bathole kodwa kubaleke kakhulu ukuthi I then took a decision ethi labo bantu abenze ukuthi lokho kwenzeke kuzofanele ukuthi ba discipline isizathu sami sithi siyawazi ama processes alandelwayo ngaso sonke isikhathi uma kuzalwa ingane akukwazi ukuthi ngaphambana ingane neyomunye ngaso sonke isikhathi kuba nobhlungu obuzwa imndeni ngenxa nje yaleyo nto kufanele ke sixolise kuleyo mndeni on behalf of MEC on behalf of department yonkana kodwa sisalandela iqiniso sinalo ukuthi leyo mndeni abantwana ezobe siphuma nabo ezibhedlela abantwana okuyibona ngoba amanye ama tests sobe siwenzile are the DNA tests to prove ukuthi lo umntwana wakwabani lo umntwana wakwabani kodwa sisalandela udaba a full report will then be put ofisini lika MEC ukuze azi ukuthi kwenzakalani ikakhulukazi ukuvikela ukuthi lento ingaphinde yenzeke not only lesibhedlela nakwezinye izibhedlela futhi
ayike kushuthi ngiyathembisa nami ukuthi ke mayisikhona lo report oba usehlalela ungqongqoshe njalo ngolwezihlanu nathi enelunch nathi kusukela ngo1 kuya ku 2 so ke siyathemba ukuthi uyobe siyasilethela lolo daba kanjalo ngqongqoshe kunolunye futhi udaba la Exceluke nalo kuleli viki lasusa nje olukhulu uhlevane lolu lokuhlaliswa kwabantu ezibhedlela zethu siyathi kunendawo la kubuye khona kuhlale abasebenzi kodwa ke sizwile ukuthiwa kwesinye sezibhedlela zethu bekuyikhona into ukuthi ke sekukhona sebehlale isikhathi eside kwase kuba khona ke abangayitholanga kahle impendulo kwaze kwakhona ukudideka ngazi ukuthi mhlambe kukhona ukuphambana ngoba ngazi ukuthi sithi abantu bayahlala noma abantu bayaphuma mhlambe ke singakuthola nokucaciseleka ukuthi ke ithini into ngokuhlala kwabasebenzi ezibhedlela zethu noma ezikhungweni zethu.
No, asibonge Ntokozo uDr Shabalala njengenhloko yomnyango uzongena kulolu daba mina ngifisa nje ukukhuluma ngeprinciple. Ibhedlela zethu zonke esinazo kwiprovince yaKwaZulu Natal akuzona zonke ezinayo indawo yokuhlala. Kuyaye kwenzeke kwesinye isikhathi uma sakhe isibhedlela singayakhi indawo yokuhlala but as isikhathi siqhubeka kubonakala ukuthi cha kuleyo ndawo leyo yakulula ukuthola indawo yokuhlala uma ngabe siqasha abantu noma uma sithola ama health workers ethu ethola utholakala ukuthi iyadura it's not affordable nakho konke lokho so kwesinye isikhathi iphindi edwe later on kwesinye isikhathi isibhedlela nasakhiwa sivele sakhiwe na indawo yokuhlala. Now i-intention yokwakha noma yoku-accommodate ama-health workers la awokubheka kuqala umuntu oseyi-student umuntu osanda kuqala ukusebenza umuntu oqhamuka endaweni ekude ongeza ukwazi ukuthi uma efika la endaweni asuke esebenzela yona avela shesha ayithola indawo uma ngabe indawo esisebenza kuyona kubonakala ukuthi kuyindawo engenayo indawo yokungahlala abasebenzi bese siphoqa i-department iphoqeka ukuthi ayakhi indawo. Now onke lawo ma criteria sengenza ama examples uma ngabe labo bantu labo bethathwa kusuke benikezwa into ebizwa ngokuthi contract okusho ukuthi unikezwa indawo yokuhlala okwesikhashana depending on ama environment it is. Angithatha isibonelo lapho isibhedlela sisendaweni idolobha likude khona uma ngabe isibhedlela sisendaweni lapho idolobha likude khona odokotela onesi nama allied workers ethu engeze ukwazi ukuthola indawo yokuhlala umuntu uba necontract yokungena esibhedlela la kuthina on the basis yokuthi uma kuphela icontract yakhe in the next 2 years next 3 years and so forth uyahamba. Now in areas where ku easy ukuthola indawo you obviously must have a fixed contract. Contracts got 3 years, contracts got 4 years and so forth. But when inhloko yomnyango came in, among other things esazithola in relation to management, kwacaca ukuthi kunezinto ze-management ebesingazilandeli kahle. As a result, uthola ukuthi kunabantu abanye asebehlele kulama areas kulama facilities ethu accommodation abanye more than 10 years, abanye more than 20 years. Kukhona aba retire behleli kuwona. And in the process of that uthola ukuthi these young people abaqhamuka kude abasahola kancane abakwazi ukuthi bathole indawo yokuhlala. So we then decided as a department ukuthi cha asiwenze umsebenzi wethu ngoba umsebenzi wethu uthi provide indawo yokuhlala for laba abanesidingo sayo and you provide that at a level yokuthi i-contract ikhona you are paying according to contract i-contract isiphela kufuna siphinde sibheke yini ukuthi siyayivuselela i-contract noma ama-circumstances akho have changed uma seshintshile ahambe ama-nurses homes ethu ama-doctors quarters ethu are not permanent residences of our health workers. Ilento kufuna si-emphasize they are not permanent residences. They are quarters for just that duration. So we then took a decision, by the way, even before COVID, yokuthi asibe na i-system yokuwa revise kuwo wonke ama-facilities sibuke ukuthi i-policy ngoba ikhona i-policy i-policy ikhona esibhedlela iyasetshenziswa ye-head office isetshenziswa ngokuyikona iyalandelwa yini i-policy akungeni yini kule ndawo abangani bobani abazala bobani just because uNtokozo wazana no CEO or HOD ebesehlala u20 years engakhokhi noma engakhokhi imali eyanele. So we are now implementing in terms of administration into ezothi asikwazi ukuthi wonke umuntu okhona lapho kube umuntu okufanele abe khona. By the way, now well, I would say post-COVID era noma singakayitholi vaccine. But in this era esikuyona Ntokozo every single cent with Department of Health counts. Ngoba imali esitholile siyitholela ukuthi sipreparele uCovid was far much more than imali esasi allocatedwe in the first instance. So we are going to be expected as the department to show ukuthi imanagement yethu yeimali is correct. And you don't just show that ngokukhombisa ukuthi imali oyinikiwe uyiphatha kahle, but you also show ukuthi are you able to manage your facilities properly. So this is why the process was started. Kodwa ke in the issues are specific. Ngicabanga ukuthi sikhuluma Wentworth, King Edward, Inkosi Albert, for instance. Nayo inabantu abahlala khona. It's one of the things that we are going to be dealing with. One of the things that HOD is dealing with. I've just made an example of those. Ngicela ukunikeza HOD on the specific issues, but I wanted to deal with a principle. Ethi kubalekile ukuthi sibe frugal, kubalekile ukuthi sazi ukuthi imali zethu sisebenzisa ngendlela right, nokuthi ama resources ethu we utilize them where they are needed. That is why the process came, and it was a process that was not taken now.
HOD ngathi uzoba nayo ke nxa ngoba kuvele kushawe yonke impendulo bese kuthiwa shaya futhi. Ngiyacela ukuthi ukhothuluze mfowethu ngibona sicace konke, kodwa ke ise Wentworth labo bekhala khona kakhulu nase King Edward belokhu besithinta beindaba ngayo. Mhlambe ke sithintele khona mfowethu.
No. MEC is correct. We have a policy as a government, and the policy stands. We are not going to implement anything outside the policy. That's what we are doing. In Wentworth, in King Edward, in Inkosi Albert Luthuli, in Prince Mshini. But the important aspect to MEC ngicabanga ukuthi mhlamba kayivezanga ethi we have had situations where people retire and by retire uthola ukuthi they don't have anything that is a future residence for their own. And at that time, there is no bank that will give you money to get your own residence. And actually, if we are going to be a caring government that we purport ourselves to be, among other things, is to make sure ukuthi ngesikhathi usenalo ithuba lokuzenzela izinto, let's take care of you. MEC has implored on us to make sure ukuthi there is a functional occupational health and safety, even the future and the social life of those people. That is important. But also, a caring government should be able to take care of the newly coming staff. But umusuhlalile for a long time, why is it that you don't think it's correct ukuthi sithathe the new interns, the new students, the new nurses, and all the other necessary stuff, as MEC is saying? So that is what we are doing. And the argument is not just a principled argument, as MEC says, but also on top of that, it's a policy that is known in the government. So we will implement that. We cannot make a policy and go outside policy. The last thing I want to say, in the specific hospitals, December, January, staff were told ukuthi nizophuma.
Oh, okay.
June, they were told ukuthi nizophuma. Manje or September, they are being told ukuthi nizophuma. Then suddenly, government is not caring anymore. We cannot be. So we are going to be strict about it and make sure ukuthi things happen according to policy.
Mhlambe nakho ke ukuthi sale sesiqondisa le ukuthi ngoba into eshiwe yokuthiwa kuza ama-Cuban doctors ayakukhishwa abantu base South Africa ngenxa yama-Cuban doctors. Mhlambe naleyo ngasale soyiqondisa ukuthi kahle kahle akubani lama-Cuban doctors.
Asilungise, we don't have Cuban doctors that we are trying to accommodate. We as a country sent our own students to Cuba to learn. Basabuya labantu base ama students, and they have to be closer to our institutions that are going to teach them. And therefore, as Cuban trained medical students, we have to accommodate them. But also, we're not accommodating them. There are new nurses that have just qualified. We're going to be accommodating them as well. So we cannot be looked at as taking care of Cuban doctors. Cuban doctors are figure out 27 already have been given accommodation. We are not looking after accommodation for those Cuban doctors. And we are grateful that they are here, by the way.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Good bekumele icace leyo ngoba isilokhu ivela nje kanjalo hayi ngathi kunayekelwa bokhamba abasekhaya balahlwa lengaphandle. Kukhumbuze ke ekhaya ukuthi ke uhlelo lelo lulaleli LunchTimeChatDotGov kuhlelo lehulumeni kakhulukazi lalwa KwaZulu-Natal Department of Health lapho ungqongqoshe kanye nenhloko yomnyango besondelele emphakathini nikwazi ukuba engage ngeindlela ezahlukahlukene. Sithola ke kuma social media ethu wonke nje si live kuona njengamanje uyasithola ke futhi sixhumekile kuyo yonke imsakazo yomphakathi ela KwaZulu-Natal sigijima ngegagasi layo siphinde futhi ke ngemgqibelo njalo kusukela ngo2 usithole lapha ku1KZN TV lolu hlelo ke kusukela ngo2 kuya ku3 kanti njengamanje ungasendela WhatsApp ku0823141167 noma mase sivulile online sesithi ungangena emoyeni ukwazi ukungena ku0786179760 0786179760 sizosuka ke ngejubane sibheke ke manje Odabeni oluyingqikithi esihlangane ngalo namhlanje ungqongqoshe uthule isabelo mali ngeviki eledlule ebekuyisabelo mali esibuyekeziwe esibheka kakhulu ukuthinteka ukuthi uCovid-19 usaffecte kanjani siwumnyango wezempilo kwaZulu Natal. Mhlambe ngale kokuchitha nje isikhathi angithi kungqongqoshe mhlambe akasibeke esithombeni malini lezizumbulu akade ekhuluma ngazo ngeviki edlule futhi ugcile kuphi kakhulu asithi nje nkamfu kafushane ngazo ngqongqoshe.
Kamfu. No, asibo ngentokozo. Kufuna siqale ngokuthi njengoba usho sasinesabelo zimali lesabelo zimali ke esasinaso was into esibizwa ngokuthi adjusted budget ngenxa yokuthi uma kuqala unyaka njalo nje siyaye all departments siyaye sinikezwe isabelo saloyo nyaka loyo okuthiwa kufuna sisebenzise. Kulonyaka njengomnyango wezempilo wakwaZulu Natal sanikezwa imali engango 48 billion rands. Kuthiwa cha nayo ke isabelo naso isabelo senu kulonyaka. Neminye iminyango yathola kanjalo. In fact, I think as a province we are the second highest. Silandela uDepartment of Education in terms of allocation. Kodwa lesabelo zimali safika before kufika uCovid ngoba iprocess noma uhlelo lokwaba imali aliqali ngoApril uma kuqala ifinancial year liqala ngoSeptember August ngesikhathi kubonakala ukuthi yiziphi idingo zaleyo department nedepartment. Even though i-allocation yethu noma i-budget speech yethu sigcine sesiyenza ngoMay but i-allocation was actually confirmed earlier than that. As a result, yingakho sagcina sifike kusinikezwa u48 billion rands because that is what was seen to be the amount esidingayo. Obviously siyazi ke sonke ukuthi emva kwalokho kubese kuqhamuka uCovid ngoMarch kwase kuyacaca ukuthi cha ama needs eDepartment of Health when it comes to ama finances azoba baningi kakhulu. Okokuqala nje kuzofuna sibuke into yokuthi imbhede yethu esinayo yanele yini ukuze sikwazi ukuthi si-allocate imbhede noma si-accommodate abantu abazogula. Into ekufuna siyixoxe ke mhlambe singavamile ukuyixoxa ukuthi uma kuqala uCovid-19 ngoMarch kwakukhona ososayensi laba esibabiza ngokuthi ama-modelers ababehlala bebuka every day ukuthi uma bebuka umnyango wezempilo eSouth Africa babona sengathi mangakhi ama-infections angaba khona kule province. Uma ngabe engaba khona azohlukaniseka kangakanani kuma provinces. Thina njengomnyango wezempilo kwaZulu Natal i-projection yethu esasinikiwe yabona kuyangismayilisa ukubona izithombe zethu ngoba kuyakhombisa umsebenzi eswenzile. I-projection yethu esasitholile yayithi kungenzeka sibe nama infections up between 250,000 and 300,000. Now uma sihlala phansi sinomnyango sinenhloko yomnyango weHOD sabona ukuthi kuyacaca ukuthi asinayo imbhede yanele. So we then had to go back sibuka ukuthi yikuphi esingakwenza ukwenza sure ukuthi we are covering and by the time lawo ma infections efika si ready. Sathatha isinqumo ke sokuthi cha kuzofuna sakhe imibhede emisha. And lembhede emisha imajority yabantu noma yama provinces ibikwenza lokho ngokwakha ama temporary structures but thina sathatha isinqumo sokuthi cha kubalekile ukuthi si-invest in our own structures kuqala and as a result miningi kabi imbhede yakhe esiyakhile miningi ibhedlela esizilungisile. When you look at Claywood manje it looks like a whole new hospital. Akusesona lesibhedlela esasiye kusona ngoFebruary siyobheka. Richmond is now going to be a totally new hospital. Nimeya Hospital eMadadeni, it's a new hospital. But when you go to district by district, you find ukuthi the awards eswalungisile safaka imbhede emisha safaka ama isolation areas and so forth. Emkhanya kude sinomosfault esifakile khona. I mean the list is endless. So outside of that we also decided ukuthi sizoba nawo ama temporary structures and ama temporary structures sizowalinka nezibhedlela zethu and there are 4 of such temporary structures. Eyokuqala iseClaywood lapho safaka khona ama temporary structures amabili and isibhedlela nje sisebenzayo because it's linked with our hospital. esilandelayo sise General Gizenga Hospital and then enye sise Ngwelezane.
Yes.
Now I'm explaining this because uma sesihlala phansi siumnyango wezempilo sibuka ukuthi kulo 48 billion esiunikiwe sizokwazi yini ukwenza lezi zinto. Kwabonakala ukuthi kungenzeka sihluleke ngoba imali edingeka yiningi okuqala. Sidinga ukugcwalisa i-human resource. Odadewethu abama nurse la every day nasilana nawe Ntokozo babe sibuza ukuthi kuqashwa nini. Siqashwa nini so nurse, siqashwa nini so ENAs and so forth. Ilapho ke sinakhona sakwazi ukuthola imali yokuthi cha sibaqashe njengoba bese siqalile iprocess yokuthi siqashe. Saphoqeleka ukuthi kufuna sibheke ama-instruments and equipment that we have within our facilities. Izinto ezifana nama ama-incubators, you know, the list is endless. Uziningi izinto ebeyifuneka ngempela ebekufuna sigcine siyitholile sikwazi ukuthi siyithenge because even though bezikhona but bezinganele because bezinganele because besisebenza according to imbhede esinayo. Esinye isibonelo into yama ventilators. Even before March abantu noma mhlawumbe umphakathi uyazi ukuthi eTV besihlale sizwa kuthiwa kushoda ama ventilators eUS, kushoda ama ventilators kuphi umhlaba wonke ama ventilators eshoda. Nathi ke we were not an exception. Kwaphoqeleka ukuthi nathi kufuna siwathenge. Awekho cheap ama ventilators ngoba ezinye zezinto ezikwazi ukusave impilo yomuntu noma mhlambe zikwazi ukubuyisa impilo yomuntu. Enye yezinto okufuna sizibudgetele ama test. Uyabona ama test esasiwenza every single day. Sihlale sibuye sizo reporter noNdunankulu ukuthi namhlanje sesiteste abantu abawu 5000. Sasa siteste omunye 11000. Sithi ukuthi kuphela iviki sibe sibala ukuthi sesiteste close to 100,000. Siyayikhokhela lawo ma test leyo. So those are some of the monies that we needed. So out of all the needs ebesinawo that were outside of allocation yethu, we needed uma senza i-assessment thina imali ecishe ibe u6 ube u8 billion rand. Ecishe ibe u8 billion rand, and that was the projection esasibekile. Sahamba ke sayocela kuNdunankulu ukuthi cha sibona ngathi kule mali ewu48 million uma singa-edela omunye u8 billion kunga right sizokwazi ukusebenza. Well, imali yakhiwe esihlahleni. Naye uNdunankulu kufuna abuyele emuva bheke ukuthi sizokhathapi, sikhathephi, nani nomnyango wezempilo sitsheleni ukuthi ikuphi enizokunciphisa ukuze sikwazi ukuthi siede kulama billion enithi ayafuneka. Sakwenza nathi lokho. So sesikwenzile konke lokho. Imali eyagcina siyinikezwa phezulu kwalo 48 billion was u5 billion ngaphezulu. So imhlangano wethu ke wa last week kwakuumhlangano wokuchaza firstly ukuthi lo 5 billion esesiunikiwe sizosebenzise kanjani. Sawusebenzisa phi, sesiqedile yini, ikuphi okushodayo. But bese siphinde siyachaza ukuthi kulo ya 48 billion original esasiunikiwe yikuphi nathi esithathe khona ngoba phela bese ngeke sivele sikhangeze nje sicela imali singabuki thina ukuthi sizocontribute ngani. So nathi ke we had a responsibility ukuthi siyo reporter legislature ngoba lapha esiphethe khona nathi ukuthi cha le mali enisabele yona sitholile u48 billion sasithe kunina sizothenga ama ambulance awu100 kodwa ngenxa yokuthi sibese siba nalenkinga enjena sesizothenga ama ambulance awu90 bese lo munye u10 suthenge kodwa suthenge usebenze kwi covid eventually uzobuya usebenze ngendlela efana. So that was the issue ye budget. It was the issue of relooking at the monies that we were given and initially and the new allocation nokuthi siyisebenzise kanjani.
Uyabona ke into evele ngiyithande ngongqongqosho ukuthi uthi uyihlelile imibuzo ukuthi ngizomhlaba ngale mibuzo ayishaya yonke ayiqede nya bese uhlelo kufanele kulugoqe nje ngoba luphelile uhlelo njengamanje. Kodwa ke siyazi ke ngqongqosho ukuthi uthinte kakhulu nento yokuqashwa kwabantu lapha ya kwi-budget speech yakho ikakhulukazi sibonile usho ukuthi ke kunama professional nurses nama staff nurses, administrators, clerks ozobaqasha. Mhlambe ke ngiyazi ukuthi leyo ke ihlale njalo masikulelo uhlelo iphakama leyo kuqashwa kwabantu. Namhlanje nje embuzweni uzoyithola izoba iminingi kakhulu indaba ethinta ukuqashwa kwabantu. Kukuphi manje ukuqasha? Nani zoqasha abantu abangaki? Nikuphi nokuqasha manje?
Leyo ke Ntokozo ufuna siqale ngokuyichaza ukuthi even before covid safika kukhalwa kakhulu ukuthi i-staff complement eyibhedlela zethu nasemaklinika asanele. and sathatha isinqumo sokuvakasha sivakashele almost zonke ibhedlela na some of ama clinics noma singawavakashelanga wonke and uma uvakasha kule ndawo ngempela uyabona ukuthi isikhalo sifanele ngoba udokotela yedwa esele no nurse o professional nurse abakwazi ukurun iward lonke bayadinga ukuthi kube khona umuntu ocleanayo lana bayamdinga umuntu ozoba ugeneral orderly bayadinga unursing assistant and so forth but uma ubuka indlela esiqashe ngayo noma indlela esasesiphoqeleke ukuthi kuqashwe ngayo previously kukhona ama categories angekho so sayixoxa ke nomnyango nenhloko yomnyango and we even went to premier sayocela ukuthi cha kunokuthi kuthiwa khona abantu abangabalulekile esibhedlela ngoba akekho umuntu ongabalulekile esibhedlela rather sicela thina ukunikwa i-dispensation ehlukile kunabanye esikhuluma ngento ebizwa ngokuthi minimum staff establishment okusho ukuthi uma ngabe isibhedlela sethu sidinga ukuqasha abantu abawu-100 kuyo yonke into sicele thina i-permission yokuthi at least asiqashe u-60 so that at least ama-categories onke adingekayo esibhedlela azoba khona so that has always been a problem but uma kufika i-COVID kwacaca ukuthi i-COVID phela ifika leya staff shortages isekhona ayikazi idlule so kwasiphoqa futhi nakhona ukuthi sihambe siyocela imali kundunankulu siyogoqa isigoko cha siyayicela imali nangempela sayinikeza imali yo-1.5 billion yokuthi siqashe and out of leyo mali leyo sasi iplan yethu ukuqasha ama-post awu-8,456 and lama post lawa siwahlukanise ngokuthi siqasha o-professional nurse staff nurse admin clerks because babalekile nabo in ensuring ukuthi benza owabo umsebenzi kungaze kugcine kuunurse noma staff nurse owenza umsebenzi wabo general orderlies safuna ukuqasha ama professional nurses in areas like ICU and high care ngoba asinabo bona abaningi enrolled nurse assistants sibaqashile enye into esiyenzile ebalekile and uCovid sosinike ithuba lokuthi siyenze ukwenza into ebizwa ngokuthi translation la emnyangweni wezempilo uma ngabe ufike waqashwa khona enrolled nurse uyanikezwe ithuba lokuthi ufunde ngaphakathi so that you are translated mhlambe ngicabanga ukuthi bafunda 2 years HOD bafunda 2 years uma sekuqedile ukufunda 2 years ebese ke nakuqhamuka ipost bese kwenziwa into yokuthi translation in other words asaqali siqashe kabusha kodwa siyakumove from le level okuyona sikumuvela to le post engaphezulu sikhuphule nje kancane umholo uzofika kule level okufuna ngabe ukhona now ngenxa yezimali kwatholakala ukuthi umnyango wezempilo kwaZulu Natal for inqwaba yeminyaka ibingakwazi ukuyenza leyo process yama translations so ukuqasha kwethu ke la kwi-COVID kusinikeze nethuba lokuthi sikwazi ukuthi siba translate labo bantu so labo si translate abantu ama-enrolled nurses to professional nurses aba-1030 ngesikhathi siba translator bona siyaqasha ngaphansi senzela ukuthi kungabi khona igap so uma translate u30 siqasha u30 nas translate 1000 siqasha 1000 so that there is no gap so we got an opportunity to do that asikusho ke kodwa ukuthi kunama areas lapho okubenzima khona ukuthi sibathole abantu kodwa we continue sibafune for instance we are looking for psychologists ngoba we were given the opportunity yokuthi siqashe sifuna ama physiotherapists sifuna ama pharmacists akhona sesikwazile ukuthi siwaqashe kodwa awanele sifuna o general orderlies siyaba add ke radiographers bebekhona but siya add so there are areas otholakala ukuthi siyabadinga abantu but there's not enough of them in the market kube nzima enye inkinga esaziyo ukuthi inkinga nayileyo ukuthi bonke labantu esibaqashayo sibanikeza i-contract ka6 months and into ebiyenza ukuthi sibanike ama-contracts a6 months yingoba imali esasiyitholile was in relation to 6 months now uCovid ke usufikile 6 months uyafika uyadlula sibe sesiba nengxoxo ke nabantu abadala sibabiza ngabantu abadala undunankulu sithi cha siyabona kona ukuthi sanika u6 months futhi siyawujabulela kakhulu lo 6 months ngoba usizile ngempela usizile thina somnyango wezempilo wasiza ngisho nodadewethu nabafowethu labakade bedinga ukuqasha kodwa siyacela ukuthi asinikwe elinye ithuba lokuthi mhlambe sengeze ukuze siqhube kancane lesikhashana ngoba okwamanje akekho okuthina wazi ukuthi iCovid yothatha isikhathi esingakanani. So silinikeziwe ke ithuba. Ngifuna ukuchaza lokho. Akushiwonga ukuthi as extend. Sinikwe ithuba lokuthi asambe siyobuka ukuthi kuzofuna malini ukuthi si-extende, singa-extend isikhathi esingakanani, si-extende abantu abangakhi. So uma sesikwazile-ke sibhizi nakho lokho kuleli viki, ngeviki elizayo ngolesibili ngolesithathu sino-HOD sobe sesiyopresenta kundunankulu. Siyobe sesiyanikezwa-ke lapho ukuthi cha sinikwe ilungelo lokuthi senze njani.
Mhlambe nami ngiyiphawulela nje mina ngingafisa ukuthi ku-extendwe for life kodwa-ke kuzobhekwa phela njengoba kuyasho ukuthi kuyobhekwa i-extension le akusiko kwami. Mhlambe-ke ngizofisa isikhathi esiningi ukuthi sibaphe abalaleli ithuba lokuthi besi-engage bexoxe nathi sibheke nemibuzo yabo mangibuka isikhathi sesiyashaya kakhulu kodwa imibuzo ebengisenayo la ibisemningana ikakhulukazi nje mangingabhekisa lapha ku-HOD ikhona lento ethi ithema ifika iCovid yafica sinezifo eziningi ebeyivele zikhona izifo esiphila nazo ongculazi nezinye abanye uthola isihamba siyolanda amaphilisi azo lezi zifo okuthola ukuthi mase kufika uCovid abaningi babe sebeyeka ukuyilanda kwalanda lemshenguzo yethu besikade sivele siyisebenzisa mhlambe ke kuthini kulesikhathi samanje imessage engabhekiswa ikakhulukazi kubantu bebethatha amaphilisi lawa esiphila nawo omunye futhi ngizofisa ukuhlanganisa kanye nawo ilo wabasebenzi ke nabo ngoba ikhona ireport ethi abasebenzi abaningi bona abagadli abathintekile nje bade kuno Covid enye yezinto ebeyibuyishiwa ama scientists kwamanye amazwe makubhekwa ikhona into ukuthi sibuye nathi sibe nento ukuthi hayi thina mase sisodwa sabasebenza akukho ukuthelelana siqakekela kakhulu masinalo mhlambe oyisigulu kodwa mase sisodwa singabe sisaqikelela kakhulu imessage mhlambe ke ngaphansi kwalokho engathini uthele nje inkamfu kafishane HOD
mhlawumbe ngiqale kule abasebenzi okokuqala sibabonge ukuthi bazinikelile baqinisekisa ukuthi ama-figures noma ama-numbers aye-project ukuthi sofika kuwona sifike kuwona MEC ukhulumile kuloko kube imisebenzi yabo kodwa siphinde sibacele ukuzinakekela kwabo akungabi semsebenzini kuphela but abazinakekele besekhaya abazinakekele in transit beza noma bemakhaya bazinakekele futhi besemsebenzini ama lunch time abawathathe bahlukanisane so that le social distancing does happen and all the precautions ungqongqo ahlale ekhuluma ngazo iyenzeka so kubalekile lokho okunye futhi siyafisa ukuthi bathi noma bezinakekela baphinde basisize ukuthi bawudlulise umyalezo esizweni kube yibona abasizayo so lokho kuzosinceda kakhulu ukuthi kwenzeke now miningi imisebenzi eminye sazokwenzeka okunye kwako nje ukuthi siphinde sivuselele ukhumbula ukuthi ungqongqoshe ngenxa yeCovid had to stop ama programs akhe ayisewaqalile kuye emphakathini ezinye zezinhlelo lezo sozivusa kunezinhlelo ezibizwa OCCMDD yila esasithi khona siqhuquzela abantu njalo abana lezi zifo ezama chronic illnesses ukuthi bathathe imithi yabo sinamanje siyabaqhuquzela sibaqhuquzela okwamanje ngezizathu ezimbili okokuqala ukuthi kufanele vele ngabe bayakwenza okwesibili ukuthi ngenxa yeCovid sibonile ukuthi iCovid if you've got chronic diseases ikulimaza kakhudlwana ngakho siyabacela ukuthi aba-adhere to medication yabo
no sibonga inhloko yomnyango ke njengalesikhathi ke sengishilo ukuthi bakwethu njengamanje sozama ukuthi sibheke ngqo emphakathini ngoba besithe sizobabeka esitikini ukuze niyitike nina kule mzuzu ku-SL eyi15 ngizocela ukuthi ngiyinikele nje ikakhulukazi kunina inombolo ongangena ngayo emoyeni ithi 078 617 9760 078 617 9760 ngizobe sengiyithatha ke imibuzo yenu eminye ke imibuzo engene kakhulukazi lapha kuyi-Facebook page yethu imibuzo ethi ayicishe ifane ebese ke ngizocela ukuthi ngiyifunde ibe mningana ukuze sikwazi ukuthi masiyiphendule sinkemfule ngenxa yesikhathi esisibekelwe la phambi kwethu ku-WhatsApp wethu laphana othi 082 314 1167 ukhona ongenile wathi ucela ukubuza HOD ukuthi ke sizovunyelwa nini ukuthi siyobona imndeni yethu lapha ya ezibhedlela ngiyacanga ukuthi umbuzo ke lo ovele ngithi kahlanu la sizothola nje ubasehla nakwezinye indawo engicela ukuthi ke uyothi mase uphendula uHOD mhlambe ke awuhlanganise ehlanganisela nabanye abawubuzile untombi futhi Shange lapha ya eNtshanga uthi ke evening minister. This is something I want to know here about us, nurse who worked into other provinces. When are you going to accept us as straight transfer? We want to come back home, please. uyacela kufuna ukubuya ekhaya lo ukhona ke umnye umbuzo futhi olama wona lo obubuziwe khona lapha na kwi Facebook page yethu engizocela mase siyiphendule vele sisale sesihlanganisela yonke lapha mina bengicela kusho lapha yana uzamile eDumbe ngiyabathanda abantu baseDumbe balandela kakhulu oluhlelo lolu sihlale nje akwenzeke singawuthola umbuzo ovela eDumbe noma ngisho icall evela eDumbe ngicela ke ukubuza ikhona ni indlela yokuthi asizakale ama NPOs kwi budget ye COVID-19 le ama NPOs ke ibuziwe kakhulu bakhona nalapha ku Facebook page abebeyibuza ukuthi ke uze wathi umunye wabo ubone ngazi ukuthi kunama NGOs ahlomule kakhulu kulento ye COVID-19 bona as NPOs basele ngaphandle kubuza ke uzamile lapha ya eDumbe ku WhatsApp wethu lapha ya khona ku WhatsApp uthi uphumzile Gina engwavuma hawu ngiyabathanda abantu basengwavuma uthi ke mina bengicela ukubuza ngodaba lwama CHWs ukuthi ngoba enza into eyodwa neGauteng kungana seKZN angawatholi upermanent bengizocela ukuthi HOD akethu kusiphendulela nje kancane mhlambe noma ngiqale ngithathe lo kancane ukuze sikwazi ukuthi ke sikwazi ukubathola bebonke usemoyeni sawubona
yebo njani
sikhona singezwe kuwe
siyaphila ukhuluma nophindile siyamuza ungqongqoshe bandla usekhulumile konke bazwayo manje inkinga ilana uma ngabe ke hlele emateksini ke manje nangu umuntu akayigqokile masiyabona sizophindela le njengalamazwe lawa okuswabuyele ku level 5 wabantu abasanakile manje
no
siyabonga kakhulu abantu
yebo no siyabonga kakhulu umbono wakho siyabonga kakhulu
sola kuze khona ukuthi ungamisa kanjani ukuthi ke nabo manje bawagqoke phela kuze manje lehle kakhulu ligcine ngcono sesizawagqokise ku right
no siyabonga kakhulu ngiyathemba ukuthi kuzwakele kahle kakhulu ungqongqoshe noHOD bawuthole sothatha wesibili sisho ukuthi ke usemoyeni sawubona
yebo kabana
yebo mfowethu bani sikhuluma naye
khona siso waxaba
eDumbe awu baphila abantu eDumbe
hayi baphila kahlafuna
ngiyalithanda iDumbe
lapho ungqongqoshe ukuthi ngempela kunini kanti la unogada nabahlanzi ebhedlela nasemtholampilo siyobona khona beqasha khona ngokugcwele ngoba inkampani eyinika umsebenzi izikahle azilandeli imithetho yezabasebenzi
hayi izwakale kahle kakhulu futhi ke iDumbe ngiyalithanda mina ngenzeka nje ngithi abaqale kwakusasa labantu kodwa ke sizozwa ngongqongqoshe
yebo
sibonge kakhulu sawubona usemoyeni sikubingelela usemoyeni
yebo sawubona njani
sikhona singezwe kuwe
siyaphila
ubani esikhuluma naye kuphi
okay ukhuluma noNtobeko wakhokhelo la eThekwini
eDurban
yebo
awu siyabonga ungambuza ungqongqoshe
yebo bengicela ukubuza bandla kumngqongqoshe ukuthi ayikho yini indlela abangabhekelela ngayo laba abasebenza emphakathini ngoba likhulu igalela abanalo laba babizwa ngama CHWs
oh okay
ukuthi mhlamba baqasheke permanently nabo ngendlela nje ekungenzeka ngayo ukuthi basizakale
no ngicabanga ukuthi utholakele kahle kakhulu umbongo sibonge kakhulu eThekwini
ngiyabonga
siyabonga uniyayizwela ke bakwethu uhlelo ke luzwakale ngathi lukuya yonke kwaZulu Natal sithola iTheku sithola iDumbe sithola konke nje siyafinyelela kahle kakhulu abantu bayafisa ukwazi ngicela kodwa ukunike ithuba lokubaphendula basibathembisile
siyabonga no asibonge Ntokozo kufuna ngitholele inxiwa lapha eDumbe ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi ngiyathanda kanti nginawo ke khona sikutholele cabanga ukuthi nomeya ulalela ngiyafuna ngitholele lapha kuzameni no asiqale ngale yama NPOs and NGOs ukuthi banga benefita kanjani from ibudget thina as umnyango wezempilo generally asibi nayo imali esi-allocate to NPOs and NGOs
okay
certainly asizange sibe nayo ku COVID
okay
because i-target yethu and the core function yomnyango wezempilo is to keep abantu healthy as to ensure and save lives so imali ebesinayo yayifocus ekutheni save kanjani impilo that's why sakhe imbhede that's why sathenga imithi that's why sathenga equipment and so forth so at our level awekho ama-NGOs esawanika any allocation no NPOs. Ngiyazi kodwa ukuthi akhona ama-departments ayekubuka lokho asebenza through NGOs amanye NPOs. For instance, social development, not at a provincial level, ku-national kwakhona ama-NGOs ababewakhipha bewanikeza imali so that assist and so forth. So that is a matter mhlambe mina no HOD uma siya emhlanganweni obiza ngokuthi executive council esingakwazi ukuthi sifike siyixoxe ukuthi ozakwethu abakuma NPOs bayakhala ukuthi cha bona abazange bathole ukuxhaswa the same way as ama NGOs. Understanding ukuthi akuyona ibusiness. Ukuxhasa nje ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sisize abantu bakithi. So singayiphakamisa siyenze ngaleyo ndlela. Umbuzo wesibili engifisa ukuphendula ilowo ukuthi udadewethu uphumzila ubuzayo ukuthi inkinga enkulu uyayithola ukuthi abantu abasagqoka ama-mask ema-taxini and so forth. Uqiniseke ngempela ayikho nje into engiphatha kabi njengaleyo. Ayikho into engiphatha kabi njengokuthi uma uhambe emgwaqweni kuma-restaurants, yes ngeke udle ugqoka imask siyakuvuma lokho. Kodwa indlela abantu abakusuke sebehleli ngakhona sengathi it's business as usual. Kukhona nalama restaurants ke lawa anobumnandi asebusuku okusuke kungasadliwa kuphela. Kuphuzwa nenye into ke ethanda ukuba mnanjana nangizwa ulisuke libhubha lapho libhubha nomkhululu vele ubone ukuthi maye siyovuka sinjani kusasa iCovid. Kunento ebhenyayo ekuthiwa ihabli ngicabanga ukuthi ibizwa kanjani. Ihabli bakithi ize iyabhenyiswana omunye aphinda ayibheme ayithatha ayinike omunye so uthatha iCovid yangapha ayifake kuyena athathe yakhe ayimikise liyabhubha izwe la ngaphandle. Ngiyakusho nje ngihleka kodwa iqiniso ukuthi sine responsibility siwumphakathi wokuyinaka. Uhulumeni yes kufanele ukuthi usize intweni ezithize but okunye kusezandleni zethu. Uhulumeni Ntokozo ngeke ukwazi ukuthatha imask ukugqokisa wona ngenkani. Ngisho sengimqashile uNtokozo ukuthi akagqokisa imask. Ngeke uNtokozo abe iphoyisa lokugada uze uyofika ekhaya noma uyaphi ukuthi uyigqokile imask. Yingakho kubalekile ukuthi nathi as communities asithathe leyo responsibility. That is why ubaba ubheka intuli uma exoxa nozakwethu abasemaTaxini enye yama discussions ababa nayo ukuthi senza kanjani ukuthi abantu abagibele emaTaxini senze sure ukuthi ama mask bayawafaka. So i discussion ekhona ke le ngoba I regulation noma singaku level 1 but umthetho usasiphoqa ukuthi asiwafaka ama mask. So kubalekile ukuthi I regulation igadwe. Yes amaphoyisa kubalekile ukuthi abheke emaTaxini ukuthi bonke abantu bawagqokile yini ama-mask. Kodwa sinawo amaphoyisa anele ukuthi angagada wonke umuntu. I mean kwi-province yaKwaZulu Natal i-population yethu ithi 11 million. Okusho ukuthi nasinabantu abawu-11 million sidinga amaphoyisa acishe abawu-9 million kanje ukuze asigade individually ukuthi siyakwenza yini lokho. Okunye kufuna kube sezandleni zethu. The very same way uma ngabe siba ne-pandemic ye-HIV and AIDS. Kwakuyithini kwangase uhulumeni wayehamba egada ukuthi umuntu uyiphethe yini condom. Yes sasiyikhuluma sithi ama condoms awabe khona. Sase safika kwi level yokuthi i-condom ayibe available ibe mahala. Kodwa ukugqoka kwe condom kudepende emnikazini wayo oyisebenzisayo. Njalo nje. So uhulumeni ke into esisho la kuma mask it's exactly the same as indaba yama condom. Njengoba sasesifike kwi level abaningi bethu ukuthi awuphuma endlini ungayiphethe i-condom esikhwameni. I-mask is exactly the same thing. So kufuna kubaluleke ukuthi siyithathe ngaleyo ndlela ngoba this is about impilo zethu and kufuna sazi ukuthi siya protect. Usifiso lapha umfowethu ukhulume ngendaba ye-insourcing. Ngicabanga ukuthi ukhuluma nge-security kakhulukazi nge-cleaning. I-resolution, conference resolution leyo ye-African National Congress 2017 sisenasrec and ama-conferences before that. So sine-responsibility yokuthi siyi-implement. Inkinga yayo-ke ikanjena Ntokozo. Angithi i-resolution ithathwa namhlanje kube kunama-contracts yakhona. So uma ama-contracts akhona binding in law awukwazi ukuthi uthi uvela e-conferenceini uvela ubusa uthi ngiyanibisa nonke sekufuna ngiziqashela abantu. There's a process that must be followed. So we are right now working on that process ye-insourcing. Ukuprovela nje ukuthi si-implementa kanjani and siyayisebenza ngempela le process. Sizovula isibhedlela saka-Pix esibizwa ngokuthi Pixley Isakaseme Memorial Hospital esiseThekwini. Ngicabanga ukuthi sizivula ngoDisemba. Kodwa ke sisazoba ne-process yakhona sizoyilandela soba ne-media briefing, speak about that, speak about the process. That hospital Pixley because it's a new hospital ayika contract umuntu ayikenzi lutho siqasha wonke umuntu.
Awuzwake.
We are insourcing ePixley. ePixley sizoqasha abantu abayi-security, sizoqasha abantu abacleanayo, sizoqasha abantu abasevayo uma kudliwa, siqasha abantu abaphekayo, siqasha o-administrator yonke into. Because we'll be implementing that resolution ye-insourcing. So siqala kancane kancane, siyazi ukuthi it's not enough. Kodwa unfortunately ngenxa yomthetho asikwazi ukuthi sivele sikhansele yonke into. So lapho esikwazi uku-insource khona siyakwazi ukuthi siqale, and we have started. Kwezinye zeyibhedlela zethu, Eddington for instance as a hospital, you find ukuthi uma clean bakhona abantu abacleanayo abaqhamuka ama-contractors, but bakhona abacleanayo abaqashiwe. Because as you continue with implementing, you phase out amanye ama-processes. So it's something that we are working on, and sizogcina sifikile kona noma kungeza ukushesha kakhulu. Siyacela abantu bakithi basibekezelele. Ngiyacela ke, I think le ama-CHWs HOD will speak to kuthiwa awafani ngani nawo aseGoli.
Yes, mhlawumbe ngimnike nomnye umphako omncane manje ngoba isikhathi sesishayile ngempela. Mangibuka imizuzu esele kufanele ngabe siyavalelisa manje. Kodwa ngizomnika nje umphako omncane futhi ngaphezulu HOD ngoba imibuzo eminingi esithola lapha ya ku Facebook page iqamelene izinto ezicishe zifana nalezi esayibuzwe manje. Kodwa ukhona nalo obuthinta into ka permanent kwabathile laba baqashiwe asayiphendulile ke ungqongqoshe. Kwaba khona nombuzo lokuthi ikhuphuka kwezimali zikhuphuka nini? Engazi ukuthi impela ke anikhuphulile imali zabantu. Mhlawumbe nami yama ikhuphukile nje ngeke ngazi kodwa angikhulumeli mina la. Ngizwa lokho kushiwa abantu kuthiwa imali ayikhuphukile. Leyo ke bayithinte kakhulu abaningi. Ngiyazi lapha ku Facebook page bayala bathi kuyafana imibuzo abasifundi ngenxa yesikhathi. Ngiyabona nje oJabu Ngobeso sikhulu eDlamini, oMisi Duyazo, oDlenge weDuma, oQueen uNdlovukazi, amadlaba, ocela impilo oceba ikhulu, ngoNtuli Sibusiso, oNokthula Thule, oKethi Muthwa. Sengiyabamemeza nje phela ngoba babone ngathi siwe singayibonanga imibuzo yakwanti siyayihamba siyibuke ngempela. Osibongiseni Zulu khona nezinsizwa edine kwakhulu lapha na obuye ubone mase ziyibuza imibuzo yabuchaza idiniwe. Onomfundo Mzobo, oThilo Magwazi, oDweba Wandile, oMeli oBuyi Phiphungula, oMbongeleni Goodman, oPrincess Mthiyane, oSikhohliwe Dlamini, oMbongeleni Goodman Banjwa, OPF kaMusa Shongwe, Pete Slizet uPete, kuzoba woNosihle Andile Mchunu, noSihle Andile noZipho Nxele, noSihle Andile Mchunu. Ngiyabamemeza nje ukuze bebonke imibuzo yabo sithiwe sitholile, kodwa sizama ukuyinkamfula iyonke mase siphendula siyiphendule ngendlela ehlanganisayo. Ingakho ngimcela eJodim mase siphene singasenaso isikhathi asigoqele nakule yento ethinta ukuba permanent. Mhlambe noMC ezoyithinta esevala. Awusipheke eJodim.
Ngizobe senginqamula nje Ntokozo. Sesizoyibona yini abantu abasemakhaya abaadmithwe ibhedlela? Yebo kuzokwenzeka, kodwa sizoyikhipha imigomo ekufanele ilandelwe. Esisacela manje ukuthi all the precautions awalandelwe njengoba enjalo. Next week we will then communicate kahle ukuthi kuzokwenzeka kanjani. Okwesibili, community healthcare workers ukuthi aseqashiwe eGoli, sisakubheka ukuthi indaba lona lodwa iGoli eGauteng ikwenze lokho, all the other provinces have not done it. Okokuqala. Okwesibili, what is the implication of doing it? What is the implication also on our budget, so that we then can speak to it? Then we'll be able to talk to it. Remember, China, we've got more than 10,000. The last one ngizoyisho ukuthi kukhona okhulume ngamatekisi nama mask. We are going to continue i-communication yethu eqhuquzela abantu njalo ngokuthi sibonge kungqongqoshe wethu, sibonge na ku premier ukuthi they've allowed us to continue communicating with people ukuthi sibaqhuquzele kulezi zinto.
Wayigoqa kamnandi, sicele nongqongqoshe asale sesigoqela isikhathi sesingasekho.
Sibonge kakhulu Ntokozo, sibonge ukuthi abantu bakithi banathi namhlanje basilalele bayabuza imibuzo. Siyathemba ukuthi soqhubeka nale engagement ithuba elihle leli lokuthi sikwazi ukuthi sikhulumele ngqo nabantu bakithi. Kodwa siyacela abantu bakithi baqhubeke bagqoka ama mask, bageza izandla ngamanzi anensipho noma basanitize, keep social distancing. Ningabavakashela abantu abadala isidingo uma singekho ngoba kuyenzeka thina sibe infected kodwa singabonakali. Kodwa uma sesi-infect abantu abadala bese kuba yibona abagula kakhulu, abanye baze bagcine beshonile. Asivakashi isidingo nasikhona, kodwa uma sivakashile asigqoke phela imask uma semakhaya. Asiphile njengabantu abaku level 5 emakhanda ethu, sibe sazi ukuthi umthetho uthi level 1. Masikwenza lokho sizokwazi ukuthi i second wave ingasifiki. Siyabonga.
Bonke kakhulu kuhlalo nje balihlangana luluhle kanje alihlanganiswanga ke yimina ngingedwa bebe khona abafowethu besebenza ngaphansi sibabonge uAgiza Hlongane uSiphiwe Moyo noLuthando Nkosi uMondli Mwandla Xolani Mnguni uKhwezi Maphalala uPhumlani Isikharakhane usamkelisiwe Khumalo Khanyisani Khanyile Sibusiwe Mvuna noqiniso umntaka Mlitha sibonge kakhulu ke na inhloko omnyango bakwethu ukuhlala isivumela nathi silwenze lolu hlelo bama engathi hayi bohlala phansi singabe sesihlala sibonge kakhulu futhi nakuye uNgqongqoshe ukuhlale khona ke nathi njalo ngolesihlanu esinikeza impendulo ngamunye makuthi siyabuza sibonge kakhulu ithuba elifana bese sibonga nawe ekhaya usilalela emsakazweni usilalela kumabona kude usilalela kuma Facebook page bethu sithi yanibonga kakhulu emakhaya sizocela ukuthi mase siphuma njengamanje sikumeme uthi njalo ngemgqibelo uye lapha ku 1KZN TV kusola ngo past 2 kuya past 3 ukwazi ukubona lolu hlelo lwakhe sikulethela khona kamnandi umnyango wezempilo kwaZulu-Natal uDokozo kwaMaphisa akuvaleliswa sicela ke ukuphuma ngaye Jerusalem dance sidanse nje sijukuje kube mnandi sithi kulungele ke bye.
Dawo yami ayikholana buso wami